Here, if you want to hold that, it's on.
Oh wow, look what I just found in here.
You found a dust cap?
No. From when we were cutting up our fuel tank.
Cutting ourselves? Alright, so this is how DeLorean speedometer works. You're supposed to have a plastic, Brandon's doesn't work. Now, there's several things could be causing, but the main thing is he doesn't have his plastic dust cap on here. That's what it's called, speedometer dust cap. It goes on there and has a little hole that this actually goes into. Yeah, a little square hole. This goes into it. As the wheel turns, it turns this cable. I'm going to show you over here real quick. This is the other end of the cable. This connects to the speedometer. And we tested it to see if this would actually spin when we turned that by hand, and it did not. So that means in addition to him missing the dust cap, there's something else wrong along as well. So we're going to disconnect some stuff and see. So but anyway, alright, so the next thing to check is going to be, let me grab it. It's going to be this angle drive right here, this part. It connects, it's pretty loose and wobbly too, so I'm going to disconnect it. Let you hold that. I'm just going to use something like this to loosen the cable. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see it. Alright, it's loosening very easily. Alright, so we just want to find out what else is broke in this. I think his angle drive might be broke because that cable isn't turning up front. So, alright, so I got this thing loose by hand, or got loose with the tool first, getting it off by hand. And there's another part of his problem. You can see there's supposed to be, like on the other side of that, there's a cable coming out. Well, there's supposed to be a cable coming out right here. So it's supposed to go into the angle drive. The angle drive has an actual angle that this goes in, and this turns what this plugs into on the other side of it. His angle drive isn't working either. You can't really see, but down in here there is a hole that this plug, you know, if this had a wire coming out of it, will go into that hole. And so I'm turning it out here, and it's not spinning at all. So he needs a new angle drive, which is about $60 from Houston, or it's about $50 or $60 from Hervey. Hervey ones are rock solid. I mean, they're good. But anyway, so he needs that. He needs a dust cap, and at a minimum, you need a short speedometer cable. Bill Robertson claims that he managed to build one using just taking these ends and putting them on a you can hold that, just taking these ends and transfer them to a speedometer cable at AutoZone. You know, we love AutoZone. It's a redneck thing. But
can you see it down in there?
But yeah, so I can't see it down in there. The next thing to check though that we can look at, so he needs a new dust cap, needs a new angle drive. Dust cap's $15. You can get that from Dave and Julie at DMC Midwest. Alright, so the next problem in there, so the cable connects to this right here. This is what they call the short cable. Then it goes into your lambda. I don't know how you say it. Lambda, yeah, fancy word. I don't use that. All this lambda counter is, it's just a service counter. It rolls over every 30,000 miles. It has this plug, and so every 30,000 miles it rolls over, it turns on the lambda light. That's all it does. It's just a reminder to change your spark plugs, wires, stuff like that. So this cable goes into the lambda counter, the short end, and as you can see, it's missing. It doesn't have its cable on either side. I don't know what happened to it.
That's weird.
And then you have another cable on top. This cable goes to what we showed you up at the top. So that cable's good. And so if you look up at the top, you can see as I turn this, well, so I turn it by hand on the bottom. So that cable's good. So what I would do this was my car and this is what I did, you can actually bypass this counter. John Hervey sells a long cable. It's about $90. It'll run straight from the angle drive all the way up here. So you just eliminate this box completely. And by eliminating it, you got one less thing to break. So, but yeah. So at a minimum, you need a short speedometer cable, which you can get from Hervey or Julie or any DeLorean vendor. Angle drive, you can get from any vendor. The dust cap you have to get from DMC vendor or Josh Bankston. He has those as well. And that's it. So that's what's wrong with it.
DMCtoday.com.
Yeah, DMCtoday.com. So anyway, that's it.